Hello and welcome to this Thursday's recording and stream of Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I would say I'm sorry for being late, however I slept till 12 instead of starting at 12, so to be honest I probably needed the sleep. I will see you all once we continue our game, because for once I didn't play my own game in between. Mostly because yesterday I was quite busy meeting up with friends, and so didn't really have the time to. Still absolutely adore the music in this game, so now I just need to wait until it loads just a bit further so that I can actually go back in. Right, we are now going to do a thing that is quite interesting to us. The old elf smiles when he hears your footsteps. Allow me to congratulate you on your victory, on acquiring mythical powers capable of casting down the strongest of demons. I got you the page you were looking for from the Great Garrison. Oh, great. The storyteller carefully takes the page from your hands. His fingers touch the ancient letters gently, examining them, following their lines. I see myself, young, energetic, able to see. Oh gods, have I found the key to my past? Finally, I will find out how much my own mind has been hiding from me. The elf's expression becomes withdrawn. The wrinkles on his face soften. Thank you, Raimi, and please follow me to my story. Let us embark on this journey together. The storyteller inhales sharply a few times and begins his story. They are leaving. The people of Kionen faced the coming earthfall and admitted that they were incapable of handling this disaster. Proud rulers, artful crafters, brave warriors, wise mages and skilled healers, all of them hurry to the gate to Silverian. Looking around carefully, a clean, safe world is waiting for them there. My people decided not to fight for Galarian. I am ashamed, and I am sorry for them. Their hearts wavered in the face of the catastrophe, but my will is strong. I am staying. My kinfolk are looking at me angrily. How dare I diminish their decision with my recklessness? My choice makes them cowards, traitors to their own home. One of them, my former mentor, looks at me bitterly. He hands me a neat notebook with a tree-bark cover. In case you change your mind. With a heavy sigh, he returns to the line of those departing. Forgive me, brothers and sisters. I watch the gate of Silverian Stone close, separating me from them. It's time for me to go too. I open my master's notebook. These are his notes about traveling between worlds, in case you change your mind. He hopes the burden I shouldered voluntarily will be too much. I will lose heart and find my way to Silverian. That will never happen. My mouth sets stubbornly. I tear my master's notebook to pieces. I use my forced pride as a shield against my fear of what is to come. Why did the elves decide to flee, not fight? The storyteller's lips purse with disdain. They are afraid to lose what they have. They were rulers, long-lived and powerful. They valued their lives and sunshine too much to enter the fight with the aftermath of Earthfall. Your mentor is a mage, then you must be too, yes? Yes, I am an archmage, and this title is well deserved. I've acquired delicate mastery and succeeded in many areas of magic, but curiosity has always pushed me towards new knowledge. First, since the first day of my apprenticeship. What is the Silverian Stone? A magnificent crystal bent into an arch by a mighty hand of a divine creator. A great gate to other worlds. It breathes power. It dreams of eternity. Why are you angry at your fellow elves? I spent many hundreds of years in Keonan. I have always admired the way my kinfolk cared for the forest that was our home. But the rest of the world seemed to mean nothing to them. But I love Golarion, all its places, all the forms it manifests in. I traveled widely and then came home and told my kinfolk about my travels. But they weren't interested. They only cared about Keonan. Their lack of desire to hear about the wider world makes me sad and angry. What happened next? Earthfall happened that night. I am standing at the top of my tower many miles to the north of Keonan. And I see a blaze far in the south. I hear a horrendous rumble. The air is groaning, giving way to a huge rock, rushing down on my world. And then a blow. Vibration that penetrates everything, reaching down into the bowels of Golarion and up to the vaults of the sky. Crunching bones, the blood from burst vessels, filling my eyes with darkness. Drowning in timelessness, along with countless denizens of Golarion. Never before have we been so united in our feelings. When I come around, the darkness remains. My first terrible thought, I'm blind. But no, little by little, I begin to see the stone wall. I am alive, but why is it so dark? The answer is quick. The smell of ash everywhere. The great burnt sacrifice filled the air with incinerated particles of what was recently the continent of Azlant. Great clouds of ash covered the sky, cutting us from the sun and the moon, dooming us to dusk at day and complete darkness at night. My heart sinks with fear. Treacherous thoughts fill my mind. Why did I stay? Why didn't I run like everyone else when I had the chance? I clench my teeth and stand up to watch Earth fall, proudly like the last Archmage of Keonan should. Will my world perish like this? Will I perish? No, that will never happen. I am still alive. And I can fight the earthfall and the darkness, not run from it in a blind panic like my kinfolk and my cowardly teacher. But what can I do? I will not stop the disaster. I will hardly be able to save empires from their destruction. What can I do? I am but one archmage, powerful and weak at the same time. What is Earthfall? A disaster of untold proportions. An unborn planet dropped on Golarion by blind fate or someone else's evil will. A blow so strong that the continent of Azlant is destroyed within moments, turned to ash and dust, wiped off the face of Golarion. In this burned sacrifice, clouds of ash and dust are born, stealing our sun. Without the warmth of our star, the air cools, the soil is barren, dark creatures crawl out of their lairs to rule. And the most frightening thing, without the sun, all hope dies in the heart. This is the age of darkness. What was that tower you mentioned? It is my retreat north of Keonin, my home away from home, my observatory. From its top, I watched the stars, and when they were correctly aligned, other worlds as well. Here, in the northern wastelands, I found the highest mountain and built a tower atop of it. On clear days, I could see the mist over the lake of mists and the veils in the east. That's how high I was. What are you going to do next? I don't know. I need to think. My opponent, Earthfall, is much stronger than me. Without noticing, the storyteller raises his voice to a shout. It is merciless. It does not simply destroy alive. It kills an era, ending the greatness of Galarian civilizations. They will sink into oblivion, be forgotten as if they were never existed. I need to think. The elf suddenly winces and is silent for a few moments as he calms his heavy breathing. Forgive me. I shouldn't have raised my voice. This story was much harder than many before it, most likely because I played the main role in it. It is so strange to see myself, feel emotions stirring me up inside. Those that I felt a long time ago and not remember them. It's like I split. I became both the storyteller and the main character. Too bad the story ended at that moment. Please, if you find other pages covered with ancient elven writings on your travels, bring them to me. I might be able to shed some light on my past, and we will find out how my story ended. Perhaps even why I forgot it. And here you can also revisit the stories. If you click Tell Me About Earthfall, you will tell the story he just told. Thank you for your stories. Right. Let me touch them and I will see. The storyteller fiddles with a fragment of gold buckle. An old thing created long ago by divine will, but the power that gave birth to it is lost in the darkness. However, the relic still lives on, though it has changed. I wonder what secret it is hiding. Would you like to know? Bring me 5 vials of magic essence, and I will revive this object, and with it, its story. And so, you can now restore relics. Yeah. I have to go. And he will leave our camp for a while, because he isn't interested in doing much more. Work here. Right. Then, relics. Relics can be restored at the storyteller. This is the very first one you can find, as far as I know. And it is quite ridiculously powerful. Well, they can be quite powerful. You can get a party-wide buff, or well, somewhat party-wide buff to AC and everything on this. You from a ring and things like that. Your summons can also be stronger, everything like that. Right then. So let's just do the last bit of upgrading. And so at the very least they don't need to prepare more spells, though Nenio and Wolchev too need to. So, in the spell book, let us find them. Right then. One other enlarged person. Drop this one, and this one. For organizational purposes. Right, caster level 6, spell penetration 6, spell penetration is based on your bonus, I believe. Concentration is pretty good, and spell failure chance is also pretty awesome to get high. Right. Drop this one. Same as you. Drop this one, put this one in there. Yeah, rest to restore spells, but that isn't that interesting so far. Sleep, because like 4 HD of creatures. Honestly, not that great. Ray of Sickening Water sounds pretty damn awesome, and they Shocking Grasp just to add another spell. Then level 2 spells. A couple Mirror Image, a couple of these, and 2 Scorching Rays. For her. A couple more Mirror Image. One more of those. And another Mirror Image. Right, that should all look okay. Okay. Right, 3rd level spells. Displacement is awesome. And it is only countered by True Sight, I believe. Some... Right. Another one of these. One of these, one of these, one of these. Right, this should be enough. And he doesn't have access to 3rd level spells. Right then, character inventory. No, inventory. Usable magic items. Copy to spellbook. Copy to spellbook. Copy to spellbook. So many spells. They can all learn. And it all happens over time. And those were spells protection from alignment. True Seeing is very important. Scroll of Blindness, I guess. If only that also had a Scroll of Cure Blindness. Why didn't they stack? Right, Woljif can learn these spells. Reduce Person is pretty awesome. Enlarged Person is also pretty awesome. No, don't split. Copy to spellbook. And this is what I mostly spend my scrolls on. Don't ever actually use them. Just cast the spells. Right, spell books. Level 4 spells. Not really any of these. Blindness is unfortunately necromancy. Bull's strength. Ooh. That one would actually be... Actually, can I learn spells from a scroll? I don't think so. I don't think I have a spell book. Yeah, no. That is annoying, but I can deal with that. Right then. Yeah, I think these are all good for now. And then these last few we will put this one here. And 2 more magic missiles. Alright, then we have that. And no meta magic. Decoration. We can cast unlock colors or just not do it. Meta magic. Yeah, we have no meta magic feats. Like we can just decorate them. I think. I don't know for sure. Anyway. Right, now we must pass through this entire area. And just meet everyone. These are the Knights of Knappers. All that's left of the orders that were billeted in the city. Some loot. Nothing special. Commander. What did you say? Also fun interaction here. First Erebeth. No, another upstart commander. The Queen sure does like them wet behind the ears. What did you say, sir? Nothing, Commander Turbine. Happy to serve. This is the chapel tent. It is... We outfitted this tent to be used as a chapel. Even the less pious Crusaders will come here to say their prayers when the final battle is upon us. I have seen it happen in my previous campaigns. You can, like, look here, and this is the notice of sanctification. So, there are some, like, there's Sun Ray, the Healing Light, Goddess of Sun and Redemption, Torak, the Father of Creation, the Dwarven God of Craft and Cunning, Aristil, or Old Deadeye, the god of hunting, farming and the quiet pastoral life. And Desna, the Great Dreamer, the goddess of luck, freedom, travel and dreams. And, of course, the Altar of Iomene, the light of the sword, the goddess of justice and valor, and the patron of the Crusades. Oh, hello, Varick. Thank you for the raid. Where there is Erebeth. Alright, Field Medic Tent. It's a pretty awesome place. This is the field hospital. Alas, the clerics of Knappers suffered especially heavy losses, so we're in desperate need of healers. We are few. But the gods are with us. The prayers of good people around the world are with us. Dear lady, you've been standing here for a long time. Would you like to help? No? Me? No, definitely not. Please, act like I'm not here. I just like to watch people work. Suffer, you mean. This is Kiado, priest of Aristil, who is Vasily Rathimus' apprentice. He is kind of tragic, because basically on any path except the chaotic trickster path, he dies. These are the fighters here that Her Majesty brought from the capital. Too bad they're only recruits, but that's alright. We'll bring them up to speed.
Let's move.
A group of soldiers is talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around the flask. So, picture this. My sword is by the fire, there's 2 goblins about to snatch it, and there are 3 more digging through my tent. And I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my mail shirt, wondering what the blast to do. An old mercenary taught me about the mail shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad in mail once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So, what did you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. So they all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword, they spot me. So I jump over the fire, wearing nothing but my mail shirt, and I grab my sword and yell in my big tough voice, "Oh, inheritor, grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures." My sword shining, and the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them, and they fight back, but I fought them off somehow, and ever since then, I never take a step without my weapon. Sila takes a sip from the flask. That's so slow. Hey, stop gulping. Leave some for us. We've only just set off, and you're already drinking? And with the queen in the camp? Stop this at once. The knights quickly snap to attention. Sila raises the flask and says loudly, "Right you are, Commander Tirabate. We are but drinking to the queen's health. Give me a sip too. To Her Majesty's health." Erbeth rubs her forehead with the palm of her hand. "Commander, are you sure this is the right way to train your soldiers? Never mind. It's your business." And so this is where these are. Ooh, cold iron masterwork British. That one is going back into the regulations for... hello to the next door theater group. What do you want? A well-dressed old dwarf is lecturing a motley company, shaking her ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she flings up her hands. Good afternoon, your commanderness. Do you remember us? We're the crew from the next door theater company, the one you saved in Knappers, back when you weren't your commanderness yet. As you can see, we've come on the campaign with you. We signed up to clean pots and mend soldiers' clothes. Keeping up a theater is expensive, so we all have to take side jobs. But we don't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd scenes are difficult. We can't find the people to play the hordes of demons, and we decided against using a ritual to summon real demons. Luckily, we have Master Cam. He's invented a way to solve this problem using sound. We caught a pig and some piglets who ran away from a burned down village. The glum and husky half-orc mumbles softly. We put the piglets in a box, scare them a little, and the sound they make is just like an approaching demon hordes. But the most important question is, of course, choosing the lead actor who will play the great Knight Commander. We had a right Barney over it, breaking a number of lances as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of back scratchers. But we just couldn't decide no matter what. Maybe you can help us. We have 2 candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism upon the stage, Commander. So, Lambkin and the Gnome Twins. I'm to be played by a gnome? Not a gnome. 2 2 gnomes. Rumbledum and Hierophant are twins. One of them sits upon the other's shoulders, puts on a long coat so they can play tall characters. They switch places every so often, so each gets their moment of fame. And that way they each only have to learn half the scripts. A Cyclops actor? He's completely tame, believe me. Has a few issues with articulations, but what a powerful physique. We'll make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show you mainly just make short heroic exclamations at the fateful moment. Like, onward, or we'll never give up, or my heart burns with courage. Lambkin can definitely handle the script. So you can ask for actors who vaguely resemble you, or you can say that Lambkin will play you. Wonderful. Sorry we took you away from all the important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to a rehearsal. I mean, first we'll wash some pots, then we're off to a rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy lumps. Don't embarrass old Grantman now. Lambkin is my name. I am actor. What are you looking up at the sky for? You think winged demons are about to fall on us? Maybe they will, but I actually just like looking up at the sky. Clouds, you know, I haven't seen them since I was a kid. I almost forgot what they looked like. So yeah, that's Lan. You will almost always find him here. Talking about that. This is our army trenches. These are our trenches. They are manned by small summoned earth elementals. Those dig the trenches every time. It's a detail I hadn't noticed until early on. Until pretty late actually. Right then. We can go here. This is...
March on.
Where is the explanation? Alright, around here it is. These are the fighters of the Eagle Watch. I personally chose every one of them that's standing here, and I'm ready to vouch for each of them. So many of our own have perished, and for what? For us to keep fighting, for they to come where no one else will have to die. Yes, you're right. Thank you, little girl. So yeah, that is awesome. Right then, this is all part of the parts around here. You can just quickly. Ooh, hold on, I missed one. You always need more money. Either just straight up money, or you need some other thing that you need the money for. Ooh. Did not know that was there. Right, this is a section of the area nothing much is happening in yet. However, it will be quite important later on. This is the Turbine Tent. This is mine and Nivia's tent. We're both used to traveling, but the Queen insisted our tent to be furnished like commanding officers. You can get a pretty good half-plate armor here. Even though I dislike stealing from them, it is actually really good. Yeah, this always makes me feel just a bit creepy. And then this massive bed is clean and neatly made. Only commanding officers are allowed such luxury during marches. So yeah, this is pretty awesome. Nenio is here and talking. Let's just make that last one. I hope we meet the Skari and Baphomet soon. I have numerous questions for them. Nurdendoar stand. This is Nurdendoar stand. It seems she brought a lot of unnecessary items along with her. Bunch of books, some alchemist fire. Without a shadow of a doubt, expect nothing in return on the nature of the vine. A bunch of spells. And some alcohol and food. And coin, really. And Dayran is here in the middle. There you are, you dressing troublemaker, you. Dayran flashes you a self-satisfied smile. Our short acquaintance is coming to an end. Very soon you will depart on your crusade, where you'll scrape by on horrible rations and struggle vainly to fall asleep amidst snoring soldiers, be rudely awakened by the freezing cold, and have to look upon the dour faces of self-righteous prigs before you finally perish in the maw of some demon. I have a journey ahead of me too. I just rented a sailboat south. I've also hired an excellent chef and a host of other entertainments. Well, to each their own, I suppose. Dayran says, that suddenly adds in a more serious voice. You know, I'm genuinely sad to see you go. If it sounds like mockery, forgive me. I cannot switch off my venom gland on a whim, you see, but you intrigue me. If only we could have spent a little more time together. But of course, not under these circumstances. Let the Crusades and the demons have at each other. With any luck, they'll take this entire sanctimonious spectacle down with them. Okay, so you can reject him. You can say this. You can say, like, I would like it if you stayed. You intrigue me too. I'd like to see you get to know you better. You can throw a cat from me to celebrate our victory in Dresden. What do you say? I think that one fits. Victory in Dresden? Your optimism is so charming. Dayran smirks, then seems to start slightly. He continues in a more even tone. Well, should you prove lucky enough to survive by some miracle, come and find me. Perhaps I shall even remember you. No promises, though. In any case, I intend to wait until the army departs. I do love a good send-off, especially when it is I who is staying and someone else who is heading off to meet the dreary and hopeless end. Sometimes it does one good to ruminate on the unfairness of life. Well then, farewell, Commander. I shall assume I shall be your most precious memory on this most disgusting and exhausting road to pointless slaughter of battle. Or, if not the most precious memory, then at least the most stirring. Dayran smirks, before instantly losing all interest in you. Or at least, he pretends to. And then here is the supply train. And this is our quartermaster. Well, it's your guards. Go. Go to him for supplies. Hail, Commander. Yes, yes. 3 cheers for the Commander. Now, answer my questions. Where are the mail shirts? According to the paperwork, we're supposed to have 50. I personally deposited the money for them in the army's treasury. And why is there hardtack in the barrels that are supposed to be filled with corned beef? I demand answers. Your corned beef is in the cooking pots. It turns out it was from last year and needs to be eaten before it spoils. And we're saving the hardtack for now. As for the mail shirts, they're on the troops. That's what they're for, aren't they? Not for me to rest my jacksie on when the lads are having off to battle soon. And so you see that Horgus Garm is actually a really good person. And he just, is hard about what money he spends. and making certain that it gets spent well. There is no place for corruption when Horgus Squirm is on the case. The burly soldier with an impressive beard greets you with a broad smile. Welcome, Arms, the camp quartermaster at your service. How may I be of help? Show me what you have. Double Jeopardy, a great club that is extra damage. When you hit it for the first time, the next hit will deal 2d6 extra damage. Only the first time though. Flowing Skills is medium armor. It gives you a 10% concealment bonus. This one is the same amount, but yeah, the money is quite tight here. There is a dagger, light maces, punching daggers, sickles, clubs, maces, short spears, heavy maces, darts, heavy crossbows, javelins, light crossbows, great clubs, long spear, spear, trident, hand axe, kukri, light hammer, light pick, short sword, star knife, battle axe, flail, heavy pick, long swords, rapiers, scimitars, warhammers, composite longbows and short bows, bardishes, earthbreakers, falchions, glaives, great axe, great sword, scythes, heavy flails, bucklers, light shields, heavy shields, tower shields, all +1, and that's just the weaponry. Then there is just normal armor and the upgraded versions of the armor, like full plate and full plate +1. There's skill mail +1, chainmail, hide armor, breastplates, padded armor, which is like the highest dexterity bonus armor. There are some rings of protections. There are some lesser gloves of dueling, which gives you a +1 bonus to combat maneuver defense against disarm attempts. And if you have weapon training, that bonus increases by 1 further. Then there is Mithril, chain shirts, which are a class lighter, like if heavy armor are treated as medium, medium armor are treated as light, but light armors are still treated as light. It does, however, remove 3 armor penalties and spell failure chance of 10%, so that is quite important. There's also Adamantine full plate. Adamantine gives you damage reduction. It's a flat 3 damage reduction if it's heavy armor, 2 if it's medium, 1 if it's light. And they are always masterwork. So this is included in the prices given, though, so that's quite difficult. And items without metal parts cannot be made from adamantine. So that's also annoying. It is quite a powerful thing, though. Then there are some special named weapons. There is the Ruse, which whenever the wielder of this +2 dart confirms a critical hit, the enemy becomes a flat-footed for 1 round, which is really nice. Blade of Order, if you hit chaotic evil creature, it applies a -1 to that creature's damage rolls until the end of combat. It stacks up to a -5. Racking Point is a radiant long spear. When it confirms a critical hit, it pierces the enemy and they deal an extra 1d3 damage every single time they 1d3 positive energy damage every single time they are hit for 1d4 rounds. Black Dragon's Fang is a corrosive longsword, a +3 corrosive longsword. that deals an additional 2d6 damage to all enemies in the 30-foot area. After this ability has been activated, it can't be activated for 1d4 rounds. So, awesome. A +2 ceremonial facata, which gives you a +5 morale bonus on all persuasions checks. And when you use Dazzling Display, one of the more basic abilities you can use for command bonuses. Combat abilities, maneuvers. All affected enemies suffer 1d8 sonic damage. Then there is the Rock of Nature, which is +2 bonus to AC, on top of the enhancement +2. Against attacks made with natural weapons, given that all beasts and quite a few demons attack with natural weapons. That's quite awesome. Wide Sweep is one of the best scythes for a very long time, because it is a +2 scythe, and when it lands a hit, it deals its weapon damage to all adjacent enemies. If you mix this with... hello, Swallow. Yeah, feel free to lurk. If you mix this with, for example, Cleave, you can walk in the middle of an entire fight and then just hit once and kill an entire group of enemies, due to the fact that Sweep gives you a free extra attack on another enemy within range, and this hits all the enemies adjacent. You basically just turn around very rapidly, and then they are all dead. Dawn of Life is a tower shield, weighs twice as much as a normal tower shield, and limits its wielder speed to 20 feet. Whenever the wielder receives a critical hit, they are healed for the amount of HP equal to their number of hit dice. It basically just limits the effect of critical hits. And then there is Jinx, which is a +2 Cold Iron Falchion. If they deal extra damage, if they hit anything that's under any Hex effect, it deals additional damage equal to the weapon's base damage, which is a thing. Then there is an Axiomatic Punching Dagger +1. Axiomatic means it is lawful, and it counts as law-aligned for damage reduction, and it deals an extra 2d6 points of damage to chaotic creatures. This is just corrosive, so 1d6 points of acid damage on the successful hit. Bug Crusher. Whenever this +1 bardish lands a hit on a medium or smaller creature, it must pass an additional Fortitude saving throw with a DC of 17, which is quite high, or suffer additional weapon damage. Relentless Assault is a +3 Dwarven War Axe. And if you're wielding this in with a second weapon, whenever you confirm a critical hit, you also make an additional attack with the second weapon. Nimble Edge is an S-Stock with speed enhancement on it. Whenever it confirms a critical hit, the wielder gets a +2 morale bonus to dexterity, and each attack they make deals an additional 1d4 piercing damage for 2d3 rounds. Speed is pretty awesome. It basically gives you the haste effect permanently. However, you can't actually get the haste effect then as well. Bracers of Rough Landing is awesome-ish, I guess. Whenever these bracers grant their wearer a competence bonus to AC, attack, and damage rolls of +2 against flying enemies. Unfortunately, you don't meet enough that is worth it. Amulet of Jousting. Whenever the wearer of this amulet declares a Knight's challenge, he gains a +3 damage bonus against the challenged enemy. This is pretty awesome. It's very class specific, same as Armor of Natural Fists. This is pretty awesome when you have natural weapons, which we now permanently have, what with Blood Rage being permanently on, and our character class having a Blood Rage effect where under the Blood Rage we grow claws. These are treated as natural weapon damage. They deal 1d6 points of damage each. You can make 2 attacks with your full base attack bonus, plus your strength modifier. At level 4 they are considered magic weapons for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction, and at 8th level they increase 1d8 points of damage, and at 12th they do 1d6 of your energy type. Since we have a gold dragon bloodline, that would be fire, I believe. Right, where is that one? Yeah, Gold Dragon Breath is a 30-foot cone of fire, not affected by spell damage, by an enemy's the spell resistance, which is actually pretty awesome. Then there is the spell resist energy, which, like 7th level we get resist energy, 3rd level we get heroism, and 16th, 13th and 16th level we get fear. And then the power of worms is pretty awesome. Paralysis, sleep, and damage from your energy type. So fire damage immunity is pretty awesome. And we gain a blind sense range of 60 feet, even while not blood raging. We also get a blood dragon form, as in a form of dragon. As a form of the dragon 2, which is a spell that we can learn. And yeah, this is just the introduction. We are pretty firmly in chaotic good as well, so that's nice. I do believe that we have had everything and now need to talk to the command. This is the main quest for this chapter. Make it to Drazan and take it over. Cold Waters is just visit Jernark for now. This one is awesome. It's completed, even though it sounds like it is not. I believe it says that it is not completed because of the fact that we did not get all the allies that we could get. And we have completed the Burning City quest, which was the main quest for the last time. We also have Opening, which is find the relics, and we can now get relics, broken relics, repaired if we want them. So then let's go inside the commander's tent. Liata, Hawkblade, Nura, Soziel, and Queen Galfrey. The Queen greets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air with which she announced the 5th Crusade. The face of the ruler of Mendef appears calm and thoughtful. She has made a move and now awaits her opponent's reply.
Commander, I'm satisfied with the troop review, but I do not expect they will be sufficient for the task. You will have to prove yourself a shrewd leader and hire the necessary troops with the provided funds.
You're still here for now, but you will be looking for 1400 till 1530. Okay, that's fair enough, Swallow. Also, sorry that I didn't actually reply for quite a while because, well, busy with all of this.
I have chosen a target for your campaign, and that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the World Wound. The Sword of Valor was kept there, a banner that was once carried by Iomade herself. Our greatest relic was lost when the city fell. I should make one thing clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol, but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation. A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is kept somewhere within the Citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Its recovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. I hope the task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you, along with the soldiers. A historian, Nura Denduar, and a cleric, Soziel Vainik.
And the queen nods to a human man and a young halfling woman standing next to her.
One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomade also wants to talk to you. The Honorable Leota, whom everyone calls Hawkblade.
I do not wish to keep you, Commander. The matter I must discuss with you is extremely important, but it is not directly related to the Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with Her Majesty. Therefore, I shall leave you now, but I ask that you seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience.
Hi! Listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We are going to show those demons! I'm so tired of sitting in a library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it!
I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd like to speak with you further.
You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're the Knight Commander's people now, her trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Irabeth, you can go too.
When we met at the Defender's Heart, I never imagined he'd make me the commander of the new crusade.
Some actions may be deemed bold, or even extreme. And beyond those, there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I am not a simple monarch. I am at war with the Abyss, a war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you, I see a chance, and I am willing to stake everything on it. However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the Crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the Wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could better fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
Did you know that the souls of the angels from heaven are confined in the Wardstone?
I had guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual Celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day, they all vanished, saying that they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iomade's herald erected the first Wardstone in Knobris, and then the others in cities across Mendev. Even back then, I had nagging doubts. But my faith in Iomade easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess after all, not to question her works. Nevertheless, I am pleased that you solved the mystery of the Wardstone in Knobris, and were able to save this gift of Iomade. It was a deed worthy of a Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
The Queen simply inclines her head in solemn acknowledgement of your service. You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves beneath Knappers. In a vision, I saw the death of an angel called Lariel. Somehow, he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven.
Lariel. I knew him. He disappeared shortly before the World Wound grew, and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel. Even one so righteous and beloved as Lariel. And afterward, matters took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on this special mission. It is so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young. Like getting a message from the past. It is sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory, and we rushed headlong toward it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again?
I have some questions about my mission to take Dresden.
Of course. I shall answer.
So, what forces are at my disposal?
Everyone we saw today at the parade. First among them, the Eagle Watch, who remain a powerful force thanks to Irabeth's resourcefulness. Also marching with you are several minor knightly orders, as the minor volunteer units like to be called. And finally, I have personally selected some recruits from Nerosian. They have little in the way of battle experience, but great determination and a thirst to prove themselves. I've always thought that an army benefits from at least one such unit. These forces, as I said, are not enough for a march on Dresden. You will have to hire additional troops with the funds that have been provided to you. But for a brave commander, and I hope you are one, that is just the beginning. If you retake Dresden, recover the holy power of the Sword of Valor, and gain a foothold in the region, then new armies will join under your banner. The Fifth Crusade is only beginning. Many battles and victories lie ahead.
Okay, yeah. I have no more questions. That's an awesome inspirational speech.
Wonderful.
Then, what are you going to do?
Overlooking a spot of insubordination just at the moment. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses at Nerosian and all the other border cities and plan the future of the Fifth Crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander?
So, you can ask her to stay with you as an Angel Mythic Path, which is a good action, or as an Aeonic Mythic Path, you can ask something as well. I have not gotten this far on my Aeonic playthrough, so I don't know what that one would do. My queen, I'd ask that you remain with us. The Dresden campaign is the hope of the Crusade, and with the blessing of Ayomade that you carry may be decisive in this battle.
Here, a polite attempt to appeal to the conscience of an old sovereign?
The queen flashes something of a slightly astonished smile.
I don't know if you realize what you're suggesting. If our enemies in the depths of the wound were to discover that I was with your army, they would immediately send their most vicious demons to attack. They would stop at nothing to be rid of me, and thereby sow chaos across Mendev. But you are right. I shouldn't be sitting it out in the rear. I am a warrior queen, and a queen of warriors. Yet my fighters have forgotten what I look like. Fine. I shall join the Crusade, but on my own terms. First, I shall assemble my entourage and lead the parade out of the camp. I shall catch up with you later, along with a few hand-picked bodyguards. We'll change our armor, and I'll become a knight of a minor order and join the troops incognito. Until we approach Dresden, no one should know I am among you. But before we storm the city, I shall show myself to the troops and join the battle. Let it be a surprise for the demons. I hope you won't complain of my company on the road, Commander, since you were the one who insisted upon it. Do you have any other questions?
No, Your Majesty. The task is clear.
Splendid. Ah, yes. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable. Count, there you are. You received my instruction?
I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your majesty. In truth, I was readying myself to depart.
No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. As you are aware, she has recently been appointed my Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering whom to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Congratulations, Count.
It is a great honor, I suppose.
Darren's cool expression wavers, but he seems not to be fully cognizant of what is happening. That, or he's holding himself tightly in check. And this is why, even though it seemed like he left, he's not going to leave. He's one of... I think there is no way that you can make him leave without him without you telling him that you want him to leave. What a wonderful gesture, Your Majesty. I imagine our dear Count would have been inconsolable if you hadn't given him this chance to serve the common cause.
I knew you would approve, Commander.
The Queen bestows a smile upon you, and then brings her gaze to rest on Darren once more.
I had my doubts about whether you were ready for such a responsibility, Count, but your conduct in Knappers has put my mind at ease. So, you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post, but I trust that you will dutifully fulfill her orders and make a good showing of yourself. Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all of your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the Crusade and your faithful service to the commander here.
Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me.
The Count offers a bow, either as a sign of respect or in order to hide his flushed face. Only the barest quaver can be heard in his voice. So yeah, both Queen Galfrey as well as Darren enjoy setting each other up to fail or embarrass them or things like that. And it's always fun when you're caught between them, but because at certain points you can even flirt with both of them. That's fun.
Then let's get going. May Ayomade help us.
And so we go. And here is Anevia. Anevia will help us with this. Also, loot the tent. Several dishes, long spears and spear, a half plate, a massive set of chests where you can find some quite awesome stuff, bit of gold, a bit, I say as it is, quite a ridiculous amount. Unfortunately, nothing masterwork or anything, so that is inconvenient. Another breastplate. And then there's the personal chest or the commander's chest, however you want to call it. Right. I never identified these. These are pretty awesome. Right, let me now put away armor focus, lightened harness, Crypt Raider's armor, and the unbending armor. This one is going on what's in it? Sila. Then there are these lesser kinetic diadem, not useful but useful. Flow of water is something not really important. Storyteller's Ring is a +1 luck bonus on all saving throws against fire effects. Heavy Paws, again, knee pads let their wearer deal an additional 1d6 bludgeoning damage on critical hits made with natural weapons. That's, I believe, for an animal companion. Magnificent Plumehead again grants you +5 maximum hit points. The Dashing Cavalier's Gloves is a +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and a +2 bonus on damage rolls while you are mounted. Ratcatcher's Gloves is a +2 bonus against swarms. I will equip that when we get there. Right. This Amulet of Agile Fists is essential if you want to use a dexterity-based monk or natural weapon attacker. And it will be used by one of my other on-time Bloodrager characters, where I just use that to cast ridiculous amounts of damage on a 20 dex, 20 charisma character with permanent blood rage, so natural weapons there. Righteous Exorcist Bracers, +1 morale bonus on damage rolls against demons. Nice. Free Dancer's Boots, +2 competence bonus on saving throws against movement impairing conditions. We get a better version of that later. Silver Tongue Amulet is a +2 bonus to persuasion skills. Competence bonus. Red Dragon Helmet is fire resistance 10, and 3 times per day you can breathe out a blast of fire, dealing 3d4 damage in a 15-foot cone. A successful reflex save halves the damage. Cloak of Resistance +2 will be equipped. Natural Armor +2 will be equipped. Hero Cloak allows you the ability to cast Heroism once per day as a 3rd level wizard. Unholy Signet allows you to cast the Bane spell as a 3rd level cleric 3 times per day. And the Arcane Signet allows you to cast the Magic Missile spell as a 3rd level wizard 3 times a day. Right then. Our armors. Right then. Ember Dearest. Equip these. Right then. That is that. Right, weaponry that I don't need. Heavy Flail of Weakness. Heavy Mace of Fire. Club with Nails. Dark one, like this. This one has like a glaive popular. Touching the handle is enough to sense the latent evil within the weapon. However, it just deals 1d3 negative damage. This one, Marching Terror, is better than the Dark one, so we will go that. Decimation is good. Abrupt Force, Sickle of Falta, and Quarterstaff of Coercion. Short Bow of God. Like, all of these will just go in there. Except the +1 weapons, just plain +1 weapons. Those get sold. Right. What is your weapon right now? Entrapping Longbow. We will put that one away. Flail of Light Burst. Called Iron Falchion +1 again. A +1 weapon. Mordant War Axe. The Collapse. Dark Glowing Scythe. Blocker. And the Bulky Pick. So this all is going to get sold, except for the Marching Terror, because the Marching Terror is an awesome weapon. Alright then, let's go outside. And 1 hour and 40 minutes just to know where we want to go. Alright, and then the blacksmith has Cold Iron Masterwork versions of every weapon. And that's it. Oh, and also Cold Iron Masterwork Heavy Shield, Spiked Heavy Shield. And then you can talk to the mysterious elf. Damn it, you again, soldier. What can I do to you? I saw you talking to the girl hiding her face. Who was she and what did she want? I don't know, Commander. She never introduced herself, but I bet she's not part of our army. I know all our soldiers by name and by sight. Schwilcher frowns gloomily, his cordiality gone in an instant. She was looking for some elf volunteer. Wanted to know which tent he was sleeping in. At first I thought she was a messenger from Mendev. She definitely wasn't one of us, but now I see how it all looks mighty shifty. She was some sort of spy then. Right then, let's sell our surplus weaponry. Because there is no such thing as oversaturation of a market. So we just get a lot of money for this. 8,000 money. Nice. A heavy shield, painful remorse, is good, I guess. However, Sela, the only one who's already using a shield. Oh right, because I wasn't there when before the attack. She actually doesn't have the mithril shield. Huh. Painful remorse might be awesome then, but nah. It enhances the what's it called? It enhances the shield bash, and she doesn't get a shield bash ability. She doesn't focus on that. Anything that we want here, like heavy shield +1 is good, but I know we will get a better one very, very soon, so... Ooh, a greatsword +2 for me would be awesome, but this is cold arm and ghost touch +1. Right then. That was that. One last bit of loot. Camellia is there.
Check that out.
And you can find a pamphlet of a recruit for the demons, I guess. Ooh, and we got a scroll of Arrow of Law. Oh, yeah. You can speak with Theron, you can speak with Sorgiel, which he requested.
Hello again. I'm very pleased to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
A young cleric stands before an easel, his brush hovering over the canvas without touching it. Instead of painting, the young man absent-mindedly gazes at the sky of Knappers, which is still streaked with towering plumes of black smoke. Finally, he notices you and smiles, shaking off his stupor.
It's a pity I wasn't there at the Grey Garrison to witness your feats of strength with my own eyes. The flash, however, could be seen miles and miles away. Some people were frightened of it, thinking that the demons had blown up the remains of the keep. I, for one, knew immediately that it was a good sign. The light above the city showed us that there was still hope.
You wanted to discuss something with me, right?
Yes, I have a personal request. Before we undertake our journey and leave Knappers behind, I would like to visit Martyr Zacharias' cemetery for a funeral. It's not far from here, and it's important. I would like to pay my respects to my friends from the Temple of Shaylin who died defending the city. Also, if it's not too much trouble, I would like you to come with me to honor their memory. Their friends and family will be at the funeral, and perhaps the commander's personal presence will bring them comfort. I know that you are burdened by many cares right now, so I understand if you can't find the time. But if you could, I would be sincerely grateful.
It was nice meeting you. Now, I have to go, unfortunately.
You must be rather busy indeed. Leading a crusade all by yourself is no joke. I still believe that you are up to the task. This war has been raging for 100 years, but you've given us a chance at victory.
Right. Mythic Path is not yet unlocked. Next time we level that up, I believe he gets his effect. Right, then let's go ahead and go out to visit the area. If we go here, area exit, then remove Nenio at Social, accept. We will see the map. Right. He has a domain zealot. He can now use the abilities of his domain as a swift action. So. Right. Crusade mode is pretty awesome. You need to get relic. You can get relics here. You can increase your army. And you can fight other armies. We do not want to enter this location. This is where our camp is at, where we were just now. Crusade mode. This does not take any time. We get 33 footmen and 22 archers every week. Always recruit the archers. Archers are ridiculously powerful. However, assign a general, recruit a new general. This one is awesome. Recruit, we do not have the monies for it. So here, buy resources. We need 500. So 500, buy. Now then, information, assign general, recruit new general. No, we want Setsuna Shai. And so you just go through here until you see the one you want. Setsuna Shai. He has some of the best starting ways. He has Master of Maneuver, he has Elemental Protection, and he has Scorching Ray, which is one of the better spells. Right then. This very first demon army. It's part of a quest, and it grants you 500 demon finance points, 600 finance points rather. When in doubt, save is a very good advice, and we will take it whenever we can. Right. Cultist fighters or cultists. Because this is a mage general. Yeah, okay. Turn order in combat. Basically, initiative rules, same as always. Your units are a bit different though. Ranged units are ridiculously powerful, and you need to always get as large a stack of them as ever. The amount of damage every unit type does is dependent on the stacks. Like, archers have 18 hit points, and every archer deals 1d6 plus 5 damage times 0.9, which is due to a penalty in close combat when they are like near, when an enemy is in melee range with them. So, and for example, these have 104 hit points, and they deal 1d8 plus 5 damage. So whenever they they attack, every single one of them deals 1d8 plus 5 damage, which will kill like a couple of these footmen. These footmen then deal like this, because they only have one. He dealt 5 damage. He is rather weak. This is why you should be very, very careful on what you attack. Also, if you lose anything, you get points equal to what their worth is, their financial points worth is, in your infirmary. Your infirmary grows with your general level. That is why generals are more important than armies. And generals also cost more to recruit. Mage generals can cast spells which cost energy points. They cast these as many times as they want. Ranger generals can cast traps which deal extra damage if an enemy walks over them, and weaken enemy units. And fighters focus on boosting the strength of their troops. Right, this demon army gets you one of your very first attacks. No, not really that. Will get you one of your very first relics, which are something that your army in Chapter 3 can improve. Right, save game, because from now on, whenever we do something like this, we save the game before we move on. Every 24 hours, your party, your generals return all their movement points, and they can go ahead and do more. That is why it is important to do your army movement first and then your personal movement. Martyr Zacharias' cemetery. This is a fun-ish fight, I guess. This is a fun fight. This is fun. An elderly man limps toward the grave and clumsily throws a handful of soil inside. How unfair. They were all so young. They had their whole lives ahead of them. They sacrificed themselves. And an old cripple like me still lives. An elven woman, with her face bathed in tears, steps up to the grave. She whispers, "The painting, it burns like everything else in the house. There's nothing left for me to remember you by. Nothing." A young man throws a handful of soil into the open grave and stands beside it for a while, lost in thought. Finally, he sighs and steps back. Social throws a handful of soil into the grave in front of him. He takes a deep breath and prepares to speak, but it seems he simply cannot find the right words. The cleric wipes his tear-filled eyes and gathers his resolve and says, in a gentle voice, "I wish you a warm welcome in Shalen's realm. We will win this war, I swear to you. We will banish this ugliness and evil, make the world richer and let the peace blossom in it. I'll make sure anything like this... He breaks into sobs mid-sentence and falls silent without finishing his declaration. "Thank you for everything you've done for us." Social is too absorbed in his grief to hear you, but the other mourners nod in approval, wiping their teary eyes. "They were good people. I can't believe they are gone." What is that?" An elven woman shrieks in terror at disrupting the atmosphere of silent mourning. Her trembling hands point at something moving inside the grave. Suddenly, a corpse climbs out of the ground, wafting a horrible stench from its rotten body. "It's a zombie! Run!" So yeah, this This sucks. Let's kill all of these zombies and then kill the necromancer, right? Let's do that.
We won't fall here. I swear it.
We will, however, blood rage here. So, we also can have ability change shape now. We can have right then. Full attack. We are raging, and we are raging for a good reason. Also, zombie lords, they and zombies in general, 5 damage reduction on non-slashing weaponry. Ember's turn it is. So,
Surrender or else.
right, Ember, you go hide here. That sucks.
Into the fray.
Social. Damn it, I should have switched weaponry. But anyway, that would deal negative energy damage, and that is not what we want. Spells, no. Abilities. Channel harm undead. Good. Now some zombies have climbed out, but there are ones that are now being attacked.
We won't falter.
Stabby or zabby? Why not both?
Darren should no longer be staggered. Right, does he have the ability to channel to harm undead? Yes. And he is quite good with it too.
Too late for apologies.
Nice, 7 damage there. Holy shit, that's awesome.
No glory
Without risk.
Begone, fiend!
Strike with all your might.
Distracting for me.
That should do.
I will see to your demise.
I'll hit you.
With a heavy heart, Social looks at the corpses of his friends, returned to rest by his own hand. What is this twisted mockery? Who could possibly... Wait, what's this? He bends down and gathers something from the ground. Take a look at this. Social hands off a black onyx gem to you. Once precious, the stone is now covered in cracks, falling apart in your grip as you examine the engraved Minotaur's head, the unholy symbol of Baphomet. The cleric's voice, perplexed at first, fills with rage as he speaks. Cultists! Simply murdering my friends was not good enough for them. No, they had to come to the funeral and desecrate their graves. They will pay for everything they've done when we find them. You're right, they can't be far. We can't allow them to torture anyone else this way. Wait, the townspeople fled the undead And without knowing they have a traitor among them. Wherever they are in great danger. We must find them. Right then. Blood Rage. Will that end and give fatigue? Yes, it will. Alright. These all have Masterwork, Sabotage, and normal swords. Unfortunately. But that just means that we have, per zombie lord, at least 100 coins. Alright, save the game. No. Yeah, this is a fun one. Somebody, help me! Save the game. Trickery, DC 21.
Good, aren't I?
Unquiet dead. The half-rotten corpse of a woman shambles out of the crypt. She leers at you with her empty eye sockets and croaks out a few words. Thank the gods and thank you too. I knew this was going to happen someday. They buried me alive. Who are you? Baroness Ninel Ballard at your service. The dead woman bobs a clumsy curtsy, her legs barely supporting her. My estate is not far from here. Let me assure you that all of you are always welcome there, assuming you are properly attired. I hate to break it to you, but you are actually dead. How dare you! What utter foolishness! Do I look like a corpse to you? No, you forget yourself. You should be ashamed to say such a thing to a... The dead Baroness wags her finger at you in a chastising manner, but cuts herself short, staring at her own hand in horror. What? How? This simply cannot be. I shan't permit it! I am afraid it is true. I am truly sorry. This graveyard was desecrated by a necromancer. It seems that he disturbed your rest as well. The dead woman covers her face with the remains of her decaying hands. So I died, but even in death the accursed servants of the abyss torment me. Can nothing be done? Perhaps you could lay me to rest. I quite enjoyed my life in this world, but now there is no place for me here. Not in this miserable form. Would you like to pass along any words of comfort to your friends or family while you're here? That good-for-nothing bands of hanger-ons? Most certainly not, thank you very much. I am reasonably confident that they have already brought my estate to ruin and squandered the fortune I bequeathed to them. They will have to do without my missives. Spare us both that indignity and embarrassment. You see, I would still be in the company of those I truly care for, were it not for your discourteous sorcerer and his parlor tricks. How did you awaken? Do you remember anything? Allow me a moment to think. Seems like it, yes? Indeed, I awoke because I heard a voice. They were reciting poetry, or a prayer perhaps. I suppose those were spells, weren't they? It must have been you thrice damned necromancer. Alright then, rest in peace. Thank you. Do feel free to take my burial jewelry. Those pieces are dreadfully out of fashion where I'm going anyway. And you might be tempted to like loot her for the jewelry. You already have it. This is just information trigger. You get a golden chain with diamonds, which is one of the most money you get per pound in weight. Like most money to weight. That isn't an enchanted weapon.
This is my kind of work.
And here you can get a golden chain, which is like same model but different.
This is my kind of work.
And now we open the door. And also we do a bit of formation magic. And make Ember take a step back, and so she'll step forward.
We will be victorious!
Precision!
And grace.
Time to share your treasures.
Right. Come on, Bloodrager. How much, by the way, AC do I have? 21! -2 from Bloodrager and -2 from Charge, but natural armor gains +2. And the Amulet of natural armor also gives a +2, so still 21. How much does Scylla have? 24.
Fall!
Ember, if you would.
Stop us.
I'll
Darren,
make short work of this.
Cover me, all right?
what horror! I can barely catch my breath. Thank you for saving our lives. And yes, we will need a minute between each encounter, unfortunately, because otherwise we start an encounter fatigued. If time passed, I would like drop this one here and do something with this time. Unfortunately, time doesn't pass while we do this. Alpha more vigor. And this is a breastplate +1, unfortunately.
This is my path.
Like, if it were just like less than a minute, like just, I get it, but just remove fatigue from this. It is a class feature all the way at Tireless Blood Rage, level 17. I'm not even there on my main.
I tire of waiting.
Yeah, I tire of waiting too. Blood Rage, activate. All of these. There are.
Your company.
Out
If
of
you
my
would.
sight. Let's have some fun.
Okay, you can make that with a charge, can't you? No, I do not want to talk to you, Google Assistant.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Ember.
Surrender or else.
Social. If
I
you
will
would be so
bring
kind.
down the divine wrath. I will see to your demise.
We can do it!
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay, there is one over there and there's one over there. I don't know which of the two has seen me. Oh, and there's some over here apparently that I hadn't seen yet. Well, Jiff. If you would be so
Distraction for me.
kind.
Too late for apologies.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
Damn it. They ran. Not healed, I think. That's not what I wanted. I wanted damage on that. Anyway. is very inglorious, and it shouldn't have happened like this. No.
Take you!
Good. Well,
Time to
just
share your treasures.
if you would be so kind.
I'll
Ember?
hit you.
Be gone, fiend!
We won't falter. Strike with all your might. Into the fray.
And then
Cover
this
me,
one
alright?
is the last attack. Wait! Looks like they're waiting for us. There's a whole squad of undead guarding the door. Maybe we should look for another entrance. So you can go around here and go to the other entrance. I think that is supposed to be the correct option. Like, damn it.
Crusading isn't that boring after all.
No glory
Without risk.
Precision!
And grace.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
That one will be in the leave, and we will be able to tell you all about it. Right, zombie lords. To yoink their weaponry. That zombie lord over there is still empty. Oh, that zombie lord over there is what drops. What dropped it? Right, any loot over here? No, there is not. Right. Athletics +8 due to fatigue. Due to the fatigue, and it's still better than all of the others. Right. Inventory, unequip the armor for a bit. Wait for the fatigue to go away, and then we are all set. Right, +12.
It is done.
Should be enough.
Onwards.
Down here. Let's just save.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Yeah, pretty good, yeah. And an athletics DC 15.
I'm finished.
Okay, now equip the armor again. And here we start this cutscene. Who are you? What do you want? All you have to do is die in the name of Baphomet. Have faith, you can do it. Don't you dare. Get away from them. This is the end of your blasphemous magic. I won't let you harm the living or the dead anymore. Do you think I need your permission? Hey, you! Bonebags, stand up and kill. And those are there now.
We cannot be defeated.
Right there. Blood rage.
We can do it.
Walchiv.
Distract them from me.
And there is the zombie lord. They run.
I'll
If
make
you would be so
short
kind.
work of this.
Alright, I got lunch just now, so that's good. Social.
Fall!
Sila.
The inheritor, guide my
Nice critical hit there. Ember, if you would please remove that one. Managed to miss.
Forwards.
Time to share your treasures.
And now it has lost
Out of
its
my
AC.
sight.
Social.
I will bring down the divine wrath.
More to fall. Sila.
into the fray.
Ember, if you would
Surrender
please
or else.
damage that one. That is one. And yeah, skeletal champion archers are weak to bludgeoning, while their zombie lord counterparts are weak to slashing.
I will see to your demise.
Missing that is annoying.
Eternal Rose, I
I
call upon you.
The light, take you.
Ember, dearest.
Too late for apologies.
We won't falter.
I surrender. Stop, I give up, don't hit me. The young man in black robes throws his hands up in a dramatic gesture. You damned rat! How dare you! Suddenly, Social becomes a totally different person. The artist's delicate hands clench into fists, while his voice comes out as a menacing roar. He leaps at the necromancer and breaks his nose with a single blow. You scumbag! I remember you. You came to our temple begging for healing just a month ago. We fed you, we shared our table with you and took you in, and you... I don't even know what I'm going to do with you. Stop it! I surrender. You're... Social continues to ignore the necromancer's cries of pain, punching him right in the teeth. The necromancer spits blood but continues, fighting past the wild blows to his increasingly bruised and busted face. You're a priest of Sherlin, of surrender, so you have to spare your life. Your goddess demands it. So, is he telling the truth? Your goddess really doesn't allow you to kill him? Yes, the Eternal Rose is known for her grace. She teaches us to show mercy to anyone who asks for it. It's one thing to slay an enemy in battle, but a captive, you must try to save their soul, to show them the beauty of the world, persuade them to abandon the path of evil. It's difficult, but the world is better for it. I'm just repeating your sermons back at you. Come on, Sasha. Try to make me repent for my sins. Perhaps your kind words will make me abandon Baphomet's teachings, run to Shelyn for redemption, and start knitting some masterpieces of my own. The cultist smirks impudently. Stop, Sasha. It's not worth breaking your goddess's vows because of filth like him. Cecil looks at the battered necromancer's face, and then at his bloodied hands in disgust. He slowly lowers and then clenches his fists. Thank you for stopping me. I almost broke my vows because of this. I had absolutely no idea that there was so much rage in me. It's a shame, a disgrace, but I must admit that I enjoyed beating him. Forgive me for letting you see me like this. It should never have happened. Social wipes the necromancer's blood off his knuckles and steps away from him. You are the commander, and he is your captive. It is up to you to decide his fate. I surrender. I take everything I've got, just don't kill me. The cultist turns out his pockets and hands you a scroll. I will send a messenger with orders to imprison the cultist. His deeds will be punished to the fullest extent of the law. Yes, that's the right thing to do. Thank you. The cleric lets a sigh of relief leave his body. Social examines the devastated graveyard, then diverts his attention to the terrified townspeople. It's alright, you're safe now. We should bury the bodies again. This is a place of peace, and we must not leave it desecrated like this. The townsfolk are clearly terrified of looking at the fallen undead, but Social soft words reassure them. As they work together, this graveyard soon regains its tranquil appearance. After a prayer, Social bows his head before the graves of his friends for the last time. May the Eternal Rose grant them peace at last. Let's be on our way. We have many more innocents to protect from the horrors of this war. Right. We also have much more loot to still grab. Somewhere around here, and then go in here. Just to make certain that all the undead are gone and taken care of. That sort of thing. This is also an area exit, if you want to use it like that. Which I do. Now then, let's open the door. This is the other way you can enter. And so we can get this bit of loot. Masterwork scimitars, composite longbows. And that is it all. So then, over here. We can go ahead and exit this area and leave. Right then, very quickly. Spellbook, no. Inventory for right now. Need to wait until we're back at the camp. The Houndheart campsite is the next one that we need. We will probably take a rest. Ooh, there's someone on the road. Get ready. Magical anomalies are common in the world of Golarion. So common that the use of the word anomaly itself is questionable. A regular city dweller will encounter a chaotic manifestation of supernatural power at least once in their lifetime. One might naturally assume that the strange sky, the ghostly fire from rifts in the ground, the rain of eyeballs, all that the world is known for, should find some purchase on the mortal mind. But even the most worldly of travelers feel it's uneasy at its borders. Why? Perhaps it's instinctively they understand that this place is not merely a magical wasteland, but a wound, an ulcer, through which the world itself bleeds into the abyss. The commander and their armies walk up the high bank of the West Salon River, where it draws near the border of the World Wound. The soldier's feet halt unbidden. On the other bank rises a series of cliffs, too irregular in shape to have been formed by wind or water. The sky hangs over their sharp edges and sickening bends. The shade of Mercury on the horizon, rising to dirty rust as it arches above the soldiers' heads. It regains its familiar azure hue. The soldiers whisper and grumble. The commander feels eyes upon her back. Somewhere among them, wearing simple armor and unrecognized by anyone, the ruler of Mendef is standing, watching the new commander closely. The commander gives a signal to wait and climbs to the highest point among the band. There she decides to... So you can get diplomacy plus 17 or athletics plus 9. So in my other game I had like athletics plus 17-ish about at this point. So let's address these soldiers and boost their morale. We succeeded at a diplomacy check because it's a DC 20 and we got 70. Establishing rapport with their troops is yet another battle that the leader must face. Through the subtle alchemy of words, one can win trust and raise morale, or lose faith and authority. Addressing the armor on the border of the world wound. Addressing the army on the border of the world wound, the commander seeks to establish herself as a military leader on this new battleground. And her efforts prove fruitful. The soldiers listen dutifully, and smiles appearing on their faces. Someone in the ranks jokes that the demons are growing tired of waiting for them. The army keeps moving. Lines of soldiers step warily beneath the shroud of black clouds. It's like the whirlwind has reached out a finger onto the lands of Mendef. The gesture seems eerily harmless, but then the clouds come to life, shooting out howling tornadoes one after another. The tornadoes come from all sides, from ahead, behind, and right above the soldiers' heads. And the power of the elements on one side of the scales, and the soldiers' faith and inspiration on the other. It's plain to see which is greater. The determined army runs the gauntlet of tornadoes. The struggle lasts over half an hour, but the army only loses a few bags of supplies and a dozen heads whipped off into the sky. After stopping to catch their breath, the soldiers continue on. Their first encounter with the world wound has ended in their favor. Morale plus 10, current morale 12. You do not want to lower your morale, but each point of morale below 0 reduces the growth of trainable recruits and resources income by 1%. So yeah, you do not want to lose that. Also, we have no income on our own, so we kind of need as much of it as we can get. And we wait. Yeah, we rest. Okay. Protective rituals come from social, because it's a low religion check. Camouflage from Volchev. Night Watch from Ember and from Dayran. Ember and Dayran. Alchemy for cooking. A hearty meal. This is Wojciech's favorite dish. A favorite dish gives you an enhanced bonus to an extra bonus. Spicy dish. is pretty awesome. Seasoned Wings and Thighs is pretty awesome. It just grants you temporary hit points per level for a day. Nenio's favorite dish is a +1 bonus on all saving throws, and Fish on a Stick, which, well, we haven't met Reginald yet, but it increases the time we can go without a rest for 4 hours. And a hearty meal is just awesome. One of the other people who's really good at it is Dayran. With Dayran and like the support is a +2 bonus, and just someone helping you is always a +2 bonus. You can always get these points. Really nice. So a hearty meal +1 bonus on all skill checks for a day, and it just takes a purifying solution. Let's rest. What do you do when it looks like everything's going to hell in a handbasket and prayers aren't helping? I take myself off somewhere quiet and just hack and slash with my sword until I can't stand anymore. I know the feeling. When I need to clear my thoughts, it's not a sword I reach for, but a brush. And that is how these camp conversations go now. Due to the fact that we have protective rituals going on now, the impact of corruption will lessen. Also, I just got a meal provided for me, which is awesome. So I might be a bit more quiet than before, as I would not want to talk to you all while eating. Alright then, let's continue. First, army has the things in. Let's save the game. You always want to save beforehand because you never want to lose your full army. That's just annoying, to put it mildly. General's actions. This is also really annoying because these come with the really disastrous ability to slowly weave away your enemies. A disease effect will not outright kill your units, ever. That's about the best thing that can be said for them, though. 4 damage. There are some other effects that will, in fact, outright kill your units. And these enemies are not one of them, but they can be really deadly. And fill up your infirmary very quickly. Because all your units are affected by an infection. They have less maximum health, so more die the next time. We have more finance points. This demon army, we cannot beat yet. We absolutely cannot beat it yet. In recruits, 66, right, this one goes about here-ish. This is a quest army. So back to controlling this one. Let's save the game because these have Brimerax, and Brimerax you can't deal damage to with any a thing less than normal attacks, or well, you can't deal damage to them with fire. See? 0 damage. Here. Okay, that's good. That one will attack. And you need to kill cultists quickly, because cultists can cast their area of effect channel negative energy, damage enemies. Which kills themselves too, but well, if 500 cultists do it, that's still 500 times that amount of damage that they would normally do. And that instantly wipes out stacks of the strongest enemies. This is a awesome weapon. And we get we stumbled upon a ragged group of exhausted scouts. They had set out on a patrol mission deep into the Worldwound, but then when Knappers was attacked, they found themselves cut off and surrounded by demons. Surviving in such hostile conditions was not easy, but the scout spirits remained high, and they readily joined the commander's forces. So, merging and splitting units, we can now do that. Let's not though. Let's not merge these units. We might as well. For now, at least. Those are some of the worst, some of the absolute worst units. Alright then. We will be not skipping days, but we will not be moving him until his energy points are somewhat returned. They return at a rate of 3% per time. Let me just check whether or not you can hear that. There might be a slight bit of background noise. I hope it is not too much for you, but unfortunately can't do much about it. And these groves are also like part of it all. Right then, we have the effect of hearty meal and increased speed from divine rituals. Unfortunately, that's already gone. Hearty meal though, that's what we have here.
Let's move.
Something over there.
Let me just close the window. That should take care of the background noise. Because someone was mowing the lawn outside. And that someone is the local municipality. We're finally here. Elin and Curl must be around somewhere. And Jana too, if they gave her permission to live. Ah, there they are. Greetings, Sela, and greetings to you, Knight Commander. Sir Elan puts his hands behind his back and bows slightly. Then he casts an inquisitive glance at you. He seems less friendly than he was the day you met at the Defender's Heart. Jenna puts her hands on her hips. She looks even more dashing than usual. Elon is feeling a little shy. He thought he had asked for help from a couple of nobodies like us, but now you've turned into the saviors of Knappers, Knights of the Fifth Crusade, marked by Axiomatic's blessing. And you still came to help him dig through a pile of junk. Sela frowns a little. Let's not talk about it. I assure you, I'm the same Sela, your friend from the League of the Guard. And we came here to help you look for Elon's ring. By the way, where's Carl? He didn't come with us. He said an old wound was acting up. Alright, my friends. Since we're here, let's finish this mission quickly. I don't feel comfortable bothering the Knight Commander with my personal problems. First, the Knight Commander feels very comfortable bothering you with your personal problems. Second, don't think that it is a hassle. We're traveling here anyway. It's just a slight diversion. And we need to keep morale up for everyone. I'm glad we're here to help you, Elon. I hope everything works out perfectly for your wedding, too. I love weddings so much. They're so full of joy and new beginnings. But I haven't been to any yet. Can I come? Of course, Lady Amber. Let's hope my bride doesn't run away from the bungler who managed to lose the ring he bought for her. What does the ring look like, and where should we look for it? The last time I saw the ring, it was with my things in my traveling chest. Now, the camp is in total disarray. I don't know where I will find it. The ring is made of a shiny silver metal with deep blue-green jewel. You can't miss it. Master Eric is not just a jeweler, he is an artist. There's no mistaking one of his creations. Is there something wrong? Elon, am I making you nervous? The young knight is obviously embarrassed. I apologize. Jenna is right. Much has changed since we met in Knappers. Some things for the better, some not at all. He stops short, apparently unwilling to elaborate. Alright then, off we go. Jenna and I will look around the northern side. We'll see you when we find something. Or when we give up trying.
Please, be careful.
More loot. Including some gems. You can exit the area from here.
I found something.
We also got a flail. And some potions. A knowledge world check. Which Darren is best at.
I shine in all endeavors, even failed ones.
See, that's why I like him. He's just so much like, yeah, just confidence and everything. Anyway, loot. We get a metal shard of a ring. Yes, this is another thing that we can turn into something. More loot. Some beads, an old smoking pipe. More loot. And yeah, I'm deliberately not opening this one. That is the one that is that contains the ring, and will set off a fun little chase sequence.
This is my kind of work.
Not
Follow me.
right then. Drop this. Fetch the weaponry. We can leave. Ooh. A hat. A hat of heartening song. This is a hat that the designated healer wears because right now. This is like if you use songs, but like it also is stylish for Darren. Anyway, yeah, it's fast healing for if you use a song. No one uses a song. Let's just give it to the healer. Right. This tent is different from the rest. There's a strong rustling, burnt smell around it, and the rustling sound coming from within. Check the tent.
Do not fear.
Do not waver. Aaron.
Precision and grace.
Walchif.
Cover me, all right?
A breath weapon. Ember can hit it. And then move away as quickly as possible. Right. Pay me Blood Rage.
Strike with all your might.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Begone, fiend! I'll make short work of this.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both? Distract them from me.
You won't stop us.
And it is frightened, I believe. Yeah, frightened. So it must move away, and that just led to 2 attacks. Lots and lots of attacks. Okay. Brimarak taken care of. Where is the mobility check? Which way around here is it? It was here, like right in the middle, right? Over here, maybe? I know that I've seen it. Ah, there it is. Mobility DC 20. Let's just save it very quickly.
Just don't blame me. This is my kind of work.
30 minutes pass.
What's that there?
A good shield. A divine protector. And this is why I didn't think buying her a shield was really necessary. The divine protector is +2 mithril heavy shield. Grants its wielder a DR5 magic. It is damage reduction. Some creatures, including many demons, may ignore certain amounts of damage harm due to their ability of damage reduction. Most can be bypassed by certain weapons. This is denoted with exceptions in its subsection directly. For example, DR5 cold iron means any physical damage done by a weapon not made of cold iron will be reduced by 5. Some types of DR apply to all physical attacks. Such DR is denoted by the minus symbol. Whenever DR completely negates the attack, it also negates most special effects that accompany the attack, such as injury, poison, a monk's stunning fist, or an injury-based disease. Attacks that deal no damage because the target's damage reduction do not interrupt spellcasting, so do not require a concentration check. Overcoming DR is done by everything, like +3 weapons can overcome cold iron and silver type DR, +4 can overcome adamantine, and +5 weapons overcome alignment based DR. And this, as long as it's not a magic weapon, Sela has a DR of 5, which is awesome. And yeah, that's like in Martial it's noted, I believe. Bah, wherever it is noted, it will be there. Like, alright then. And a bite. 2 attacks and a bite. And then back up here. This isn't a check. Since 30 minutes have passed. A small quasit demon emerges from the chest. It looks at you angrily, screwing up its ugly little face. It is holding a shiny object in its paws, a sparkling silver ring with a large blue-green jewel. It's mine! Mine! Helen, look at that thin, creepy thing. What is it holding? I've seen one of those before. Those small demons like to tease and bully, but it'll bolt if it senses any real threat. Let's surround it and attack it all together, before it can figure out what is happening. And color spray. They have a lousy hit points. Mine! The Quasit throws its paws into the air and splashes you with beams of color. You hear insolent giggling. The demon is jumping up and down, throwing the ring into the air and catching it. Mine! 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 Helen! Jenna! Sela glances at her friends, then turns to you. They're alright. They'll come around soon. Quick! Remy, let's catch this little rascal before it runs off with the ring. And yeah, unfortunately, like, you can't actually catch this one. I believe. Mine! The ring's mine! You can't catch me, silly little weaklings. Come on, get me! You're slow. It's fun to play. And then they ambush here. However, something goes wrong. Give me the ring, scoundrel. Before Elin manages to get the Quasit, the halfling Curl appears right next to it. Quite out of nowhere, he snatches the ring from the demon's paws. You mustn't get it! Curl, what are you... Thrusting herself between Elin and Curl, Sela barely manages to absorb the blow aimed at the halfling. Elin, stop! Have you gone mad? He's using a summon spell. Why did you stop? Some lovely bay has just stepped into my trap. Yeah, Elin, Sela, help! Damn it, I didn't sign up for this. Get ready. We're on our own now. Luckily, we do know how to deal with all that.
Out of my sight!
Oh right, I forgot they have reach. Well, Jeff.
Time to share your treasures.
Fall!
It's time to rage. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much. Reduce person. Nah.
Surrender or else.
Sela, if you would be so kind as to deal with these. Around, you can heal us up a bit. Just a bit.
Cover me, all right? Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Remy.
Forwards.
And because it's a Babao, it has the ability to deal retaliation damage for natural attack weaponry.
Apologies. I'll hit you.
Right, they have Demon of Slaughter? No. Protective Slime. Natural attack or an armed strike takes 1d8 points from slime if it fails a DC 18 reflex save. The base is Constitution save based, so it's based on its Constitution. Elin of the Hound Heart still not manages to hit the...
No glory without risk.
Alright then, let me just further eat while I continue on with this combat.
I will see to your demise.
Distract them from me.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you!
We won't falter.
And because that one is frightened, it is running now.
You won't stop us.
Sheila, if you would.
Precision and grace.
Time to share your treasures.
Elon, what were you doing? You nearly cut down Carl. Without a second thought, without trying, without even knowing if he was responsible for all of this. He might be a victim himself. What am I doing? He lured us into a trap. Carl was the only one who knew where we were going. He knew we thought there wouldn't be anyone at the camp besides some small harmless demons, so he set a trap. I wouldn't be surprised if his demon masters had him targeting the commander from the start. Talk about believing in the redemption of scoundrels. We barely know anything about what happened. Girl is a good lad. He's not a spy or a murderer. Maybe they threatened him, tricked him, or even bewitched him with demon magic. And now we'll never know, because you let him escape. Better to let a thief escape than cut down an innocent. So... lawful or good? I say good because, well, she was defending someone she thought was a friend, and she stopped Elon from doing something he might regret. I don't need a shepherd to light my path and save me from regrets. Can you say the same, Sela? Or you, Commander? You clearly have something to say. Go ahead then, spit it out. Sela, I didn't want to say it, but I think of you as my friend, so I'm going to warn you. After what happened at the Great Garrison, you're in serious danger, and maybe not just you. You might like to ignore the military hierarchy and the rules of knightly orders, but there's wisdom in them that has stood the test of time. A soldier rises from a private to an officer, a knight begins as a squire, even Iomede's paladins gain their abilities gradually. But not with you and the commander. You were granted incredible powers, far surpassing seasoned paladins, with experience and skill far beyond your years. You received this gift at just the right moment and saved a lot of lives across Mentleth. That's a great deed that will be remembered for ages to come. But what happened next was wrong. They began to worship you. The Queen gave you such vast power, all while you sidestepped everything. training, experience, hardship. This is not the first time Her Majesty has behaved rashly, and how much good has this brought Mendev? I'm frightened by what I see, especially by the way that you, Sela, trust people so easily and leap into adventures without looking. One day you'll lower your sword when you should have driven the blade home, just like thousands of bright-eyed youngsters will after you. I wanted to tell you the same thing, Commander. So, if I understand you correctly, I'm an incompetent leader who never earned my position? Elon looks right at you with his clear blue eyes. Bear me no grudge, Commander. I'm not so grateful as to forget what you did for Knappers and how you agreed to help me. I said it to Sela and I'll say it again. This wasn't a reproach, but a warning. The power you've been given, it may be your undoing and the undoing of all Crusaders along with you. Don't be afraid of what's new and unknown. We just need to bear in mind our responsibilities. Whatever was given to us, we can use it for good. In any case, forgive me for wasting your time and subjecting you to danger here. Now at least we know that Curl is a traitor and Jana a coward, ready to abandon their friends when the going gets tough. I hope we'll all learn a lesson from these mistakes. As for the blasted ring, to hell with it. Kiana won't love me solely for the gifts I bring her. Elon makes no attempt to conceal his disappointment. Nodding goodbye, he lowers his head and walks away. Sela watches as he leaves. Her expressive eyes are filled with sadness. Everything is about to become very complicated all of a sudden. Please, Remy, let's go back, and I'd like to talk to you about it later. I have a lot to think about. And fatigue. The Quasit doesn't drop anything, and we obliterated it anyway.
Let's move.
And leave. And rest.
You know what would be nice? If we didn't die in the Crusade. After, yes, if we win. But if we die before that, that would be bad. You will try not to die, won't you? Although I suppose it will be hard.
Sometimes I'm more afraid of you than Baphomet.
Yeah, that's valid. Someone's on the road. Nice. I think that I know what this one is. Yeah, I know this one. We will be able to take a step back and relax for a while. This is a fun encounter. Through the mist, you spot the flickering flames of a campfire. 3 figures wrapped in Crusader cloaks are huddled next to it. A stout, smiling dwarf, a brash, dark-haired halfling, and a delicate-looking woman who appears to be very young. The crackling campfire is driving away the bleak fog, and promising warmth and rest for our tired legs. Noticing you, and the halfling's hand jerks towards his weapon, but then he relaxes. Hey, It's the commander herself. Don't just stand there. Have a seat by the fire. It's a bit damp today. You might as well dry off at least. So you can, you know, do perception check. And we failed. It looks like these three have chosen their campsite wisely. You see no tracks and hear no signs of demons. It's the perfect place to relax. Who are you? Frontline scouting party. Our senior sent us ahead to look for ambushes. We've been walking all day, so we're making bivouac. Go ahead and help yourself to some tea. It's an honor for us to be sharing a campfire with the commander. Something about the way the halfling speaks sounds off. Senior instead of commanding officer. Bivouac instead of a more casual camp. Maybe he's just a new recruit. Let me just refill my water. And then continue on. A broad smile blossoms on Sila's face. I never thought we'd run into such jovial company out here. I don't suppose you guys have anything stronger than tea in your canteens? Catching the halfling's conspiratorial look, she smiles even brighter. Wojciech, rubbing his hands excitedly, casts a hopeful look at the mug of tea, then at you. Chief, just so you know, walking away from campfires where folks give you free food is a sin in the eyes of the gods. What are your names? Proudly lifting his chin, which bears a white scar, the halfling says, I'm Sergeant Val, the leader of this gang of daredevils. You can tell by Velm's appearance that he is a fighter. He sports a nose that's been broken more than once, well-fitted gear, a gutsy spark in the eyes. All the hallmarks of a feisty, courageous warrior. The dwarf grunts and grins. Why would you call our heroic squad a gang, Val? I'm Tran, foot soldier, cook, quartermaster, and the mother hen of this lot. And the one who sets up the tent for Asti, and given that she doesn't even have the muscle to drive a stake into the ground. With a smirk, Tran glances at the woman, who immediately turns red in the face. The sweet and terribly young cleric opens her mouth to say something, but shuts it immediately and blushes even more. Finally, she mutters sheepishly, I'm Asti, pleased to... I mean, at your service, Commander. So yeah, this is like an obvious an obvious ambush, but it is a fun one. Alright, well, since you're offering. You bet we're offering. The halfling moves with such deftness, you barely notice the warm mug of tea that appears in your hands. But this fragrance is gorgeous. Let's see if we pass this check or if we just drink poison. I can tell the commander knows more about cooking than some. Tran leans over to you and says wetly, It's cat's holly. I bought it from a merchant from Absalon. Worth every coin though, eh? Druids are not always particularly imaginative when it comes to naming plants. Frog's grass, bear's moss, tiger's sundew. Looks like there's cat's holly as well. So let's take a sip from this enchantingly fragrant tea. From the first sip, you feel sweet warmth spread through your body. The drink drives away the chill in your bones. Blessed silence, which every soldier knows to treasure, settles in your mind. Asti stutters as her gaze drifts away. Commander, if you don't mind, I could heal your wounds and maybe cast a fortifying spell? Asti, when speaking to the commander, remember to breathe. You'll choke at this rate. So, you three really seem to have pretty good banter. Asti, her face deep red, shoots Tran a furious look It flashes him a surprisingly nasty expression. For a moment her mouth appears as though it's filled with sharp teeth, and the blushing skin is no more than a layer of powder caked over the lifeless grey skin underneath. But you blink, and the illusion is gone. You said it, Commander. I'd like to see the Joker who put it in Tran's head that he could woo ladies like that. The fair sex just love men with a good sense of humor, don't they, Tran? Velm's comment makes Tran blush in turn. Alright, I would appreciate your magical assistance, Asti. Asti's magic expels the pain from a long walk from your legs, and your recent wounds cease to ache. Your chest expands freely, and your arms feel full of unyielding strength that could crush any obstacle. The warmth of the magic suffuses through your shoulders, envelops your throat, and wraps itself around you, softly but firmly. Its caress grows stronger and stronger, tighter and tighter, until you can't breathe. Your recently healed wounds reopen. And soaking your clothes with blood, poisonous foam bubbles in your stomach, and, retching painfully, you vomit up the vile liquid you've been given. The figures around the fire ripple and transform. 3 grey-haired and dark-skinned elves watch you with mocking sneers. From the haze, more previously unseen shadows materialize. They are all just as loathsome and unsettling. The campfire emits a sickly sweet, intoxicating smell, and in the squat scuttle, you see some slimy mushrooms swimming in a disgusting, boiling slurry. You think I'm at your mercy? We'll see who the real prey is. I love it when the prey fights back.
We will be victorious.
So we have a curse of weakness upon us for the next 5 rounds. Well, Jeff, if you would, take care of Asti. At least a tiny amount.
Tactical retreat. No.
Begone, fiend!
And Velm is struck by it, and he falters just ever so slightly. Right, a -6 penalty to strength and dexterity scores. Rage, and under the rage effect, we get at least some bonus to it all.
Strike with all your might.
And only now did we take actual damage.
Surrender or else.
Try.
Take you!
Pay,
I'll make short
if you would,
work of
please. And these drow magi are, yeah, they can cast spells, and like, it's just the magus that you're fighting, not high level or anything.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Ah, damn it. That one gets closer and closer. It's still hidden though. Tron.
Can't die now. I'm not nearly rich enough.
You know what? Heal living. Raimi?
We can do it.
Ember?
Too late for apologies.
Into the fray!
There on.
Out of my sight.
Snowball doesn't do much now, does it? Critical hit, sneak attack does do a lot though. And the Knife Master.
Fall!
And that little save is nice. Ember? If you would be a sweetheart? Just, you know, cast this. Sila. You can move here, right? They're on. Shake the bones. Oh, that is always quite disgusting in how much damage it does. There's that Magus. I believe there is another Knife Master hidden somewhere around here. I believe so, though. Don't know for certain. I think it is somewhere hidden up here. Might have been the one that ran all the way here, though. Ember? That one has fallen nicely. Sila?
I will see to your demise.
Jiff can't quite reach it out.
I will bring
Luckily,
down the
Social
divine
can.
wrath.
They will break against our resolve.
Damn it! I had hoped to not be fatigued anymore.
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Ember? From here, you can cast this spell. Sila. Channel Heal Living. Because damn do we need it. Remy can't do much of anything at the moment.
We won't falter.
Just attack. Damn it.
I won't give up.
Social.
Begone, fiend.
Well, Jeff, you can deal with that. Scorching Ray upon it. And then with that bit of
Strike with all your might.
rage, we can now finally rest easy. These are cheap enemies. They don't sell a lot of shell out for a lot of money or anything. They don't have good daggers. They do, however, have cold iron masterwork composite longbows, which are quite nice indeed. And a announcement +1 as well. Masterwork lightbow. Tron just has a rapier and the buckler. Velm just has the knives. Asti had the good longbow, I believe. Or no, had the crossbow. Now then.
Follow me.
Right then. Around here there is a high level DC check, I believe. A high level perception check. And I never actually managed it.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Ah, nice. And a heavy mace. Okay. I never knew what was in there, so I was just curious enough to save scum that. This is a random encounter map, so all of those will now be lost to time. All of those things that we didn't have anymore. Right, armies. This Crusader army can go ahead, step up here, go to the Moondance Meadow. This is so near, but no. Energy points 5 is a pretty worthwhile payment. Good. Rangers are really good at dealing some small damage, but you never get enough of them until way later in the game to actually use them optimally. So until like right here, you are stuck with them as your primary option, as a secondary unit rather, which is annoying. Because they could be very good if you could stack them up. And we have won. And we got 5. We've got 5 energy points. The Crusaders truly punished a group of mercenaries who had become enticed by demonic gold and turned their blades against their former allies. Those who reject the blessings of the benevolent gods and succumb to the temptation of sin deserve death, and death they got. Justice has been served, and the clerics feel that the gods are satisfied with this outcome. We went level up. That is awesome. We now have Shield of Faith. This is basically just a good spell, or Cause Fear. Cause Fear is pretty awesome in that you can deal damage. Bless. All units in the army gain +1 bonus to attack for 3 rounds. This is a divine spell. This is a divine spell, divine spell. All of these are divine spells. There is the distinction between divine and arcane spells. Certain abilities just increase your divine power, and others increase your arcane power. So now he has 200 points in his army. And a higher maximum of tiers that we can do. Okay, let's save here once more. Let's see what we can do with this demon army. Footmen, no. Cultist fighters, no. Archers, yes. Destroy them as quickly as possible, because they will fill up my entire infirmary. 30 die. 19 die. And now they are mostly neutralized. Mostly, not entirely. Yeah, let's just put one there. One to two. The marksmen do have, rangers I mean, do have the added ability of not putting away their arrows when they get hit. 2, 2, 3. One, two, two. Right, now kill that one and then hard focus on these. They should be dead, or mostly so, at the end of this turn. Otherwise... Okay, our infirmary is empty enough. I hope. 192 out of. Oh, that was close. And that is why I dislike fighting with very few spells left. But yeah, we got all our units back, and that is the most important part. And we got some traitors dealt with. Like, do we have any recruits? No. Those are beatable if you have enough spells. We don't yet, so we can't beat it yet. Back to these. Nightingale Grove. Current morale 60. That is good. That is very, very good. We want to keep our morale up high. Sorry about that. Nightingale Grove is a fun encounter. Get your hands off of that. That's mine. Yours. Well, watch me. Wait. Someone's here. Run! Nobody's running away. Draw your weapons and fight! You cowards, or I'll cut you down myself.
We cannot be defeated.
Marauders get the drop on us. The invisible one just runs around somewhere.
We can do it.
Miss because of concealment. However, we now know its location.
Time to share your treasures.
I'm wounded.
Darren. Yeah, I can't charge it. Unfortunate, but expected.
I won't give up.
Right, Ember. Explode them all.
Forward.
Ooh, yeah, right.
Cover me, all right? Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
And it will die next turn. It's frightened and will die next turn. Here are serious wounds. Unray me, please.
The light, take you.
he is dual wielding his weapons and all.
I'll hit you!
We won't falter.
Distract them from me.
Social. Darren. Is social included in that? Yeah, does he need to be included in that? No. However, it is good when she is. Ember.
You won't stop us.
Amy.
I can't cast it like that.
Oh, right. Half this block.
Your might.
Alright, those horses are
Time to
all
share your
running.
treasures.
I will bring down the divine wrath. Precision.
And grace.
Into the fray!
Nice.
Tactical retreat. No?
Surrender or else.
Ah!
We can do it.
That wasn't what I wanted. Damn it. However, we do get some good stuff. Marauder. It's good. A Cloak of Resistance +1 is also good. Other loot. We have some horses. We have a letter to a noble Crusader. I hope this letter finds you in good health, Sir William. I see now with great sadness that you have quite forgotten and abandoned us. It's been 3 years since you visited your native lands and your father at your family crypt. Last summer some passerby broke the lock on it and spent the night inside. As steward, I installed a new lock and cleaned up all the wreckage. Your servant, who went missing, whom you inquired after in your previous letter, has indeed been sane, but at present his precise whereabouts are unknown. He came to us, looked at us with contempt, said something through his teeth, gathered taxes for you, ate a whole goose for free at the tavern, jumped on his horse and galloped off. If he went missing somewhere on the road, we wouldn't know anything about it. It's been a complete disaster here, even without missing strangers to account for. 7 days ago, all cows gave black milk, and the milkman who tasted it out of drunken stupidity died in the pain of twisted bowels. There is something wrong with the spring. The water stinks of rotten eggs, and the cattle won't drink it. Besides, some scoundrel threw some dead dogs in the closest well, the one on the crossroads, so we filled it with soil. I expect demons are giving us trouble any way they can. Our cattle are dying of thirst. Children are going missing in your protected forest. The woodcutters saw some scarecrows, which they swore were alive. They spoke of angry faces and bare teeth. They were afraid to get too close and watch them from afar. Frightening things are going on in the woods. I fear that witches and demons have settled in your protected forest to do their mischief. They are probably the ones who picked up the bones of your servant who's gone missing. And you ask us, as if you suspect us of being involved. As if we could kill and rob an honest man. It is upsetting, Sir William. We've never touched your servant, and if we did, he was a wretched man, smug and nasty. Even we have no food or water, and our children are going missing. Instead of serving your Lady Galfrey, you should be home defending us, bringing us food. You must have some gold, lord that you are. There is no one to protect us besides you. The city lads only come to find new recruits and take our gold. They don't have the authority to do anything more. And the send off we give our lads and lasses they take, the whole village comes to say farewell, just like it's a funeral. None of them have returned home to the village yet. We are dying. So I'll tell you the honest truth, Sir William. We cannot live like that anymore. But we cannot die in such terrible conditions either. So we agreed with our neighbors to burn down your forest on the next new moon. Your protected forest where the dark beasts live. We'll surround it, set it on fire from all sides, and hire a wizard to steer the wind. We won't be put off just because the forest is protected, or because no one may shoot game, air, or enter therein, or cut down its trees. Of course you'll be very angry at us for burning down your family forest, because we've already been cutting its wood and shooting game there, for there's nothing else to eat and no other wood. We won't let the forest beasts steal our children. If you wish, come and execute me. Execute all of us, but we won't put up with this anymore, that's that! Respectfully, the steward of Vixala village, to Lord Sir Willem. And magic essence. We get a lot of good loot, including bow necklaces, which you can equip. It's, I believe, one of the few equipable things that is also marked as a junk item. Masterwork, Great Axe, Alchemists. We got Moss Pottage, which is a recipe, most certainly. We got Momentum, which, if you confirm a critical hit, all members of the party are under the equivalent of the haste spell effect for 1d3 rounds. And we got a Cloak of Blood Clarity. This is one of the most awesome cloaks. If you kill something, this +2 resistance, this Cloak of Resistance +2, grants immunity to mind affecting conditions for 1d3 rounds. This is awesome. Or 3 rounds actually. This is awesome. Right. You are on the front lines with us, same as you. Oh wait, no, you have the Cloak of Disguise, so you, I guess, get this one. His supposed build is a medium armor glaive user. He isn't focused enough on dexterity, he doesn't get the perks for heavy armor, and his wisdom is his main stat, so like it's a weird build. His build is. Other accessories, not really, so let's get going again. Right. Let's. Oh, that was a masterwork dagger. Okay, that's good. Let's go on. And, go. There is nothing here. You can't go further than this demon army. That demon army is, by the way, one of the last challenges, really, for a nice and early day. Alright. Rest for 9 hours. How is it that I never shut my eyes on you in any of my strolls around Knappers, Ember? You are an amusing little thing. You set eyes on me, but you didn't see me. Right. Let's see. 10 spells to 10 mana to cast spells with 2 sets of cultists. And it's part of our quest. Beginning of long road. Ow. Alright, Nah, well, after we finish that one, we can go ahead and talk to Lyota. Yeah, this opening one is for this quest here. Right then, after this, after we make this attempt at least, save the game. After we make this attempt, we will go ahead good. Okay, that's more than good enough. Right then, now focus on this one. Very, very quickly. And some of our units fall. Enter the infirmary rather. And we very quickly break these down into more enemies. And so they get weaker and weaker over time. Then we do more and more damage over time. And our footmen, who took the brunt of these forces, get to kill the last one. That's good. A Crusader unit advancing north encountered a cultist band and eliminated it. The servants of the Abyss had been transporting prisoners of the war to Drazan. Exhausted. The remains of the garrison of Villarath Fort, which had been captured by the demons. Exhausted and wounded, the warriors adamantly refused to depart for the relative safety of Knappers and instead asked to join the commander's forces. A squad of Crusaders was caught in a sudden storm to the west. It lasted only a few minutes, but the unnatural lightning made up of electricity, flames and acid left several soldiers dead. The ease with which the forces of nature brutally claimed the lives of the Crusaders' comrades has demoralized the Crusaders. And we have a -10 to our current morale, and we got more units here. Alright, Master of Maneuver 2, because you want as many units able to be in your party as quickly as you can. This is another group of rangers, that is good. So we could go here, this would be a slaughter. The skeleton sharpshooters would kill us all. And yeah, as we progress through the story, we will see that our military camp advances and advances. And then eventually it settles in Drazan. Once we conquered that city. Ooh, a crossbow of judgment is one of the items we can get. Save the game again. Save it before you go into a battle. On any mode except Laz's Lanti mode. That is the correct action. Right, whites. These have a death effect that makes it so that your units become weaker every time they attack. Like, these remove your units from play very, very quickly. Okay, whites are down. Let's just focus on the zombies. That is good. That is better. And now we don't need to cast any more spells either. Eventually, you will get the heal spell. Warrior generals, I don't know when they get them, but hunter generals get them at level 2. So the fact that wizard generals don't get them that quickly is actually a pretty big downside to them. Of course, wizard generals are just the best generals in other ways, so seeing that as the only downside really is not that bad. Well, not the only downside. Only Setsuna Shai is really an awesome general, but then Setsuna Shai is just a ridiculously powerful general. And we get the crossbow of judgment. Its critical range is reduced to 20, and whenever it threatens a critical hit against an evil or chaotic creature, it is only automatically confirmed. This is an awesome thing. Right, let's just save the game so that we don't accidentally run into that fight, but I don't think it is, yeah. Okay. Inventory. Dayran. From now on, you will be using this one. And yes, it might slow you down a bit more, but yeah, this is a +2 crossbow on top of the fact that it automatically confirms crits against evil creatures, of which we will face many. Right, Conundrum Unsolved, then the Moondance Meadow, and then go into the camp and end the stream there. Which, by the way, will take a... Oh no, Conundrum Unsolved is for Nenio, one of the more important ones.
March on.
Well, it's not technically for Nenio's story, but Nenio has some fun interactions with one of the characters here that you otherwise can't get. So, let's go there. And well, I guess we'll leave social behind. Ooh, someone on the road. Oh, right. This encounter. This is where you can get the Hell Knights. Commander, we caught a suspicious lad on the road. He says he's an ally and he's desperate to talk to you. Who knows who he really is? The young man before you is trembling from his wounds and exhaustion. His boots are in tatters, and if he had any weapons or armor, he shed them along the way. His clothes are torn and his hair is wet, like he recently swam across a river. Blood oozes from the wounds on his chest and shoulder, and his skin is cracked and inflamed from the acrid water of the world wound. Commander, and the man breathes heavily, the words emerging as a whisper from his dry throat. My squad, ambushed beyond the river. Help. Give our guest some water and something to help for his wounds. The knight's wounds heal with the help of a magic potion. Taking a gulp of water, he catches his breath and snaps to attention and begins again. Jaeger Agile, Hell Knight of the Order of the God Claw, under the command of Paralictor Derenge, Rachel Derenge. Our squad is under attack by demons far surpassing our number. Without your assistance, we are lost. Hell Knights. They've supported the Crusades more than once in our battle against the demons, despite their questionable reputation. We cannot abandon our allies in trouble. If they really are our allies, then of course, it's just... Yeah, and Nivea looks Jaeger over closer from head to toe. I kinda think this isn't a knight at all. A real Hell Knight would be skinned alive for losing his infamous black armor. What we see here is a stranger without rank or insignia, who wants us to march to God knows where. Kinda smells like a trap to me. Jaeger, who is attacking you and why can't you handle them on your own? Large creatures that attack from the sky. Some are fighters, others are, at a guess, the clerics with dangerous divine magic. They looked like stone come to life. I am certain they are gargoyles. They fell upon us from the sky while we were setting up camp and at our most vulnerable, and they caught our forces at partial strength. The Paralector had dispatched some of our troops as scouting teams. The flying beasts didn't fight us, they just fell on us from the sky, grabbed our fighters, and either took them somewhere or threw them to their deaths. We were unprepared for that. Where is your squad now? Not far from here, beyond the river. Huh. It's not far from a single fighter who abandoned his armor and weapons, but we can't get across the river so easily. We'll have to take a detour. Even if we can save anyone, it will seriously delay our offensive on Drazan, and will give the enemy a chance to prepare. So, what do my companions think? Your companions look at their guests suspiciously. Hell Knights, with allies like them, we've no need for enemies. If it suited them, they'd abandon us to the demons without second thought. But we're not like them, are we? We have to save them. Looks like a trap to me, but even if he isn't lying, Drazan is our goal. If our offensive is delayed, we won't get another chance to retake the city. The Hell Knights are heartless executioners. Saving people from the claws of demons is a good cause in itself, but these peoples are doing everything they can to become just like the devils. Shalyn, forgive me, but I fear we should leave the Hell Knights to their fate and continue our offensive on Drazan. Do you recall Prelate Horan? Well, picture an entire army of soldiers just like him. Do we need allies like that? If they die, I shan't shed a tear. We should help them, but only if they join our forces in return. We could use some fresh blood. Hell Knights? No, not for all the gold in the world. Don't you know what kind of people they are? 1 minute you're just going about your business, the next you're locked in the stocks and there's a butcher in black armor standing in front of you. I don't know who these knights are, but if there are people suffering out there, then of course we have to help. It's what we came to do here, isn't it? The crow on her shoulder croaks resolutely, supporting her words. Huh? What? Nenio blinks a few times, baffled. The question has no scientific significance. What's interesting is how the water in the river, poisoned by the world wound, will affect this boy. With your permission, I'd like to examine him or his corpse in a few days' time. We'll take the risk and try to help them. Thank you, Commander. Our forces are here. The knight points out the location on your map. The situation is critical. Please send your reinforcements as soon as possible. I will go ahead and meet you there. Lan approaches you, casually polishing a ripe apple on his sleeve and smiling. Hey, I knew I'd find you here. It's been hard to get you alone recently. Everybody seems to want something from you. You, being the commander of the Crusade, probably has something to do with it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I've seen you fight plenty of times now. The way you charge into battle like everything's depending on you. I don't know if you're trying to be a hero or if it's just how your own honor at work. But when I think about you getting hurt, it's like my insides just turn to ice. Because we're friends, and I worry about you. I know you're the commander, and you've got to lead the charge, but let me protect you. It's the least I can do for you. Lan looks you into his eyes. Because we're comrades, right? And I don't want the comrade to be devoured by demons. Yeah, thank you, Lan. I also appreciate help from a friend. Don't mention it. I'll try not to stick out like a sword and stay out of the way. I'll just watch over you, silently observing from the shadows. Wait, no. That came out wrong. Forget what I said. Lan rubs the back of his head. What I want to say is you can count on me. Unfortunately, that doesn't count as a thorough enough and convincing enough way of friend-zoning him, and he will continue to try to flirt with you. This is rather annoying, and you can't do much about it without becoming a massive hypocrite. I really want the way to just say, yes, sorry, I don't like that. Like you like that. A message from the commander. A knight in simple armor lowers his voice. I'm the Queen's bodyguard. She sent me to tell you she's arrived at the camp incognito, as planned. You can find her where the minor knightly orders are kept. Come, if you wish to speak to her. Tell Her Majesty I will come at once. Certainly. And that's the Queen incognito. Then there is this exchange over here. Hey, little one. They say you can do magic. An old silver-haired fighter sizes Ember up, skeptically, apparently baffled to find such a young girl in the middle of the war. He's cradling his wounded arm, which has been hastily bandaged. Can you heal me?
Yes.
Of course. Ember whispers a spell and touches the bloody bandages. Thank you. That's so much better. The soldier rips off the blood-soaked rags and strokes the eldest skin underneath him. How old are you? You're only a child. I have a granddaughter at home, just like you. Oh, little girl, how did you end up here? What are you doing here in the thick of it with us? Ember gives him a light-hearted smile. I'm just like you. I came to the thick so that the thick wouldn't come to the other kids, like your granddaughter. Well, I'll be so little, and yet more courage than some officers. The old man runs his rough hand over her hair, and she smiles at him again. The crow on her shoulders rubs its head on his hand like a cat. Talking to you takes a load off my mind. I reckon it's not just my arm you healed. The soldier, shaking his head, leaves, shaking his head pensively. Ember waves happily, then turns around and notices you. Hi! Do they often come to you for help like this? Ember shrugs. Demons keep hurting them. I keep healing them. But, you know, it's surprising. So many soldiers came to me. They say I bring them comfort, that I give them strength. But I don't do anything like that at all. I only talk to them nicely. I'm just a feather-brained little girl. What if I say something, what if something I say is wrong? Maybe I should keep quiet, but I can tell that my words make them feel better. I guess I'm confused. Don't second-guess yourself, Ember. You're helping all of us. The soldiers, our companions, and me. You think so? I think I'm just wandering around saying silly things. Alright, it must be true if you say so. She taps a scarred finger on her cheek and breaks into a smile. And that is Ember. Ember being awesome. Right. Queen Galfrey. Queen Galfrey nods to you cordially. Her armor is plain and unadorned. As promised, I entered the ranks incognito, along with a few bodyguards. I have introduced myself as Katrain, an old friend of yours. I am a knight of minor order, the Green Cows. We'll see how long it takes for Anivia to sniff me out. Alright then. Why did you entrust me with Dayran? The Queen smiles. I saw such a wonderful opportunity to teach the Count a lesson, and just couldn't resist. Honestly, I expected you to dismiss him forthwith. The Count would have been forced to return to the court a laughingstock. It would have been a truly sobering experience. There's nothing more disgraceful for a Mendevian nobleman than to be discharged like that. Dayran Arendelle. The Queen shakes her head. He was such a lovely child. His mother, Lady Selena, was one of the most gracious people I've ever met. She was amiable yet decorous, and truly kind. Bonds of kinship among the nobility are, on the whole, highly practical and only useful for forming alliances, but Countess Arendelle managed to become a true member of my family. I suppose that is why I spent so much time believing her son to be a better person than he actually was. His company is a heavy burden. Still, I must admit that I am quite pleased that you decided to keep him on as a companion. There is a small chance that once he has had a true taste of the Crusade life, the Count will finally cease to mock the Crusaders as cynically as he is wont to do. Alright, I must go. Don't forget, here I am Katrain the Knight. See ya, Kitty.
Onwards.
I would be in so much trouble if I actually was able to say what I wanted to some of these people. I would be in so much fucking trouble. It would be hilarious though. It would be absolutely hilarious. Right, Nenio? If you would kindly take a look at these. Copy to spellbook. Copy to spellbook. And now it's Waljiv's turn. And there's nothing here. Right. Pipe Fox. +2 morale bonus. Okay. Who has the highest perception? Lan. I probably won't take Lan with me though. Ember? No, Waljiv. Waljiv has the highest perception. He then gets a owl. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. And you just get this one. Right then. Now that we are here, Light of the Angels is a fun ability that eventually we will lose, unfortunately. Commander, allow me to say something. Erebeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you, this wasn't a war. It was agony drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At least the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing, but I somehow got through on stubbornness and the fake hope that if nobody found Nevia's body, she might, by some miracle, have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me when I'd nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to the Grey Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You just do everything, just like that, she says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Nevia alive, standing next to you. You're the miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war and, in spite of everything, deliver us the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what others could not. I found a scabbard with your family name on it in the Great Garrison. Erebeth looks down. This scabbard held the solemn hour, my family sword. My father once fought with it, and I took it when I left home to become a paladin. Alas, it was not stolen. I parted with my heirloom willingly to help someone dear to me. Anevia needed expensive healing, and having no other way to procure the money, I pawned my father's sword. I think he would have understood. I am sure he would have given up everything to help the family. I hope to redeem the solemn hour eventually, but there was never enough money, and soon the sword disappeared from the pawn shop altogether. I have no idea who took it. Seems like I'll have to part with my father's sword forever. Is Anavia still sick? You'll forgive me if I don't go into detail. It's a private matter. Suffice to say, everything is fine now. The treatment was costly, but it was worth it. I can see that you truly love her. A delicate blush appears on Erebeth's cheeks. She nods silently. Erebeth lovingly traces the name imprinted on silver on the scabbard's leather. My parents were loyal servants, yet it wasn't enough to earn them a title or coat of arms. Still, however humble our name might be, it is worth something. I don't know if I'll ever see the solemn hour again, but at least I have its scabbard back. Thank you. Slight spoilers. Anevia is trans. The life-saving remedy she needed is a potion of gender change. They won't tell you that. That is a private matter. If someone ever tells you like something is a private matter, don't press them about it. If you find out from another source, don't press them about it. Also, this is one of the best depictions of a wholesome relationship that really, really does show how it can help. Now, I have to go. You can for 7,500 get like reinforcements, just a bit. But yeah, I have to go. Erebeth says goodbye with a short bow. On that note, to be honest, I think it might be a good time to end this stream. Let's just see here. What the hell do you want from me? Right, that was one of the ones that would raise some trouble around here. So with that, I think we end this stream here, and we will see you all tomorrow. Let's hope I don't sleep in again.